You've probably heard that stress is the biggest killer. I would actually fully agree with that, but I would go a little bit deeper to say that it's more than just what we're thinking and feeling. Stress is about what we're putting into our body on a physical level with food, but also on a mental and a emotional level as well. How you doing, guys, and welcome back to another Iridology episode. Today I want to talk about the idea of stress. There are different kinds of stress. Like I'm saying, there is emotional stress when we feel things like fear and anxiety and depression. There's mental stress when we worry and we overthink. And there's nutritional stress. And in my opinion, this is the most important. When we put foods into our body that aren't designed for us to eat, these things stress out our body. And these are things like processed foods, like caffeines that overstimulate our adrenal glands, and then all the different chemicals and things that are in our food as well. I would even go as far to say this is about pharmaceuticals and all the different chemicals that we put into our body through medication or recreational drugs. So all of these things have the same effect on our body's biochemistry. All of them end up creating an acidic and inflammatory environment, but they all also end up shutting down and weakening our endocrine system and the different organs of our body. This is important because all of these things are shutting down our body's ability to eliminate waste because they're putting our body into the fight or flight nervous system. For those of you that aren't aware, the fight or flight nervous system is part of our autonomic nervous system, and it's that branch of the nervous system that allows us to escape from a dangerous situation, right? It's an evolutionary part of our makeup, and it's designed for us to help us get out of a stressful situation or a dangerous situation. But nowadays, we get stressed out, we get emotionally strung out, we're putting the wrong foods into the body, and this is really shutting down our lymphatic system. It's shutting down our digestive system, and it's shutting down our immune system as well as the reproductive. But you can see this is our body's ability to stay healthy. Your lymphatic system, your digestive system are a big part of your immune system. And all of these together are our body's ability to actually fight off disease, eliminate waste so it doesn't build up, become toxic, cause damage, cause inflammation in the body. So when we're in that fight or flight nervous system, we're literally shutting down our body's ability to clean itself. And this is really important when we're talking about sickness, disease, pain, all the different things that we deal with on a negative level. So this is really like this illustration. So this is showing us when we're in the fight or flight nervous system, this is what is happening to our body. Over time, we are losing our vibrancy, losing our vitality, losing our energy, and we are essentially, our body is going into decay. When we're in that rest or digest nervous system, our body is gaining vitality, it's absorbing nutrition, it's utilizing nutrition, it's eliminating waste. All the processes of the body are functioning well, and our organs and our glands and our tissues are vibrant. And this is what we want. This is what we're striving for. When we're looking at the eyes are really interesting, and they'll show us really clearly the different stages of this stress or different stages of this inflammation. You've probably heard me talk about the different stages in the iris. The iris will show us in colors. This is a blue eye, obviously, and the blue eye will show us firstly with a lot of white. That's that initial stage. Then it'll start to show up with some yellow, and that's that subacute stage. As that yellow starts to build, as that inflammation starts to build, it will become chronic, and we'll start to see a build-up of that yellow throughout the digestive system, throughout the whole body itself. This person's dealing with a lot of lymphatic and lymph node congestion and inflammation. This is a big deal. Like, this is not a small deal. When you see this, this is a sign that the body is holding on to a lot of waste. It's becoming dehydrated and inflamed. And then you can see this is building up to the point where the entire body has now become built up with this inflammatory waste in the lymphatic system. You can barely see any blue in this eye. this person probably thinks they have a hazel eye or a green eye, and really you can see up close this is a lot of inflammation and stress, starting to get quite brown here, quite brown up here, and the bowel wall is very thick. This is a lot of stagnation of lymph, a lot of inflammation, and this person would be without a doubt suffering from a whole list of discomforts and diseases. So the sclera of the eye is really interesting as well, right? The sclera, the whites of the eye will actually show us what's more happening inside of the body now. It gives us a real reflection of that lymphatic system over the last 12 months. And you can see all these scratchy little lines. This is all lymphatic congestion, but it's acute, right? This is early stuff. As we start to get into more subacute, you can see these lines start to become thicker. They start to V at certain points. They start to become squiggly. And the thicker and the more squiggly they become, and the more they start to open up like this one is a sign that this waste is becoming more and more stagnant. It's been there for quite some time. You can see as we get into the more chronic stages, this is where the line opens up and it starts to close. Now this is really important because when we see this closing, it's a sign that the body is actually creating a pocket of fluid in that lymphatic system. And that pocket of fluid translates to tumors and cysts and polyps and, you know, the things that when we go to the medical community, they tell us, you know, these are life-threatening, and they are serious. It's a sign that the body is starting to accumulate so much of this waste without the ability to eliminate it that it's actually creating internal pockets. We don't want this, obviously, right? So we need to bring elimination back to the body. When we're talking about that degenerative stage, you can see these lines are becoming very squiggly now. All these little openings and those V's are now starting to close, and you can see that this person has got pockets of tumors or cysts or polyps forming in the body, and multiple, right? You can see them here. You can see this one here. This person actually has been diagnosed with multiple tumors. So the eyes will show us when these things show up, and they'll show us the different stages, and it's really important that we're paying attention to the signs that they're showing us. Because it is like looking into the crystal ball. We can see things that are forming before they actually show up as symptoms. So let's get back to the eyes and actually see what's happening so we can get ahead of things before they actually become painful and become an issue for us. How do you actually limit stress? Well, I'm going to go back to this slide quickly because this is an important one. Nutrition is always the first and foremost thing that we need to look at. The food that we're putting into our body is actually creating this fight or flight nervous system. It's either putting us into this or it's putting us into this. And that's important because the more that we build up with waste, the more we actually shut down our endocrine system. We shut down our thyroid. We shut down our adrenal glands. We shut down our body's ability to eliminate waste. So we need to put the foods in that promote elimination, not shut down elimination. What you'll actually find is the more we're cleaning the body and the stronger we become, the stronger our endocrine system becomes, the easier we find it to have emotional stability. So we no longer feel things like depression. We no longer feel things like anxiety. These are the emotional states and the mental states that we get into that actually suppress our body and weaken our body further. So we use nutrition to clean the body out so we can promote vitality and health of our endocrine system, of our emotional system. And the stronger we become physically, the stronger we become emotionally, and the stronger we become mentally. So it always comes back to food and nutrition. We can also use things like breathing, like mental work, psychology. We can use emotional breath work and emotional clearing. But those in conjunction with a healthy diet and a diet that promotes elimination are, in my opinion, the best recipe for success. So it always comes back to what you're eating, guys, the lifestyle that you're living day to day, using fasting and all the different tools that we have available to us. And then you will have a healthy, vibrant tree. That is the goal. So I hope this has been helpful, guys. It's been a little bit different, this one. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next episode. See ya.